All right, joining me now is actor and comedian Rob Schneider. Rob, it's good to see you. I'm sorry it's under such terrible circumstances. I don't know your relationship with Rob Reiner or his wife, for that matter, or Nick Reiner, for that matter, but you're in the business, and I would love to just start with your reaction to this terrible news.
Well, it's obviously just absolutely devastating. Not just for people who knew him. I did not know Mr. Reiner. I was just a gigantic fan, like most people, of his work. And you know, when you talk about All in the Family, it was something that the nation watched. It was something that was really a calming time and a very also a violent time in our culture. I mean, still the Vietnam War, the end of the Vietnam War, and they dealt with social issues in a way where people discussed them. They had conversations. They didn't always agree, but they were able to talk about them and make people laugh. I mean, I just remember laughing really hard at one of the episodes where Archie Bunker was yelling at Rob Reiner's character, Meathead, because he was putting a sock on and then a shoe and not putting both socks on. He says, and if it's snowing outside, you're going to be, you know, he said, you're going to be freezing to death out there. Yeah. He said, but if I'm going to be, you're going to be with socks on, you're going to be wet jumping around. Well, I'm going to be jumping on one sock and one shoe, and you're going to be freezing with both of your feet. It was just silly things, but also stuff that made people think. And then he went on to have perhaps the greatest career of any director in the 1990s. I mean, anybody could make and get lucky and make a good movie, but to make a great one, how many people could say they made a great one? He made 5 in 6 years. I mean, that's just a phenomenal talent. And he made movies that made people feel good. He made movies that had happy endings. He made movies that exuded this good feeling. And he changed the end. I was reading about him changing the ending of When Harry Met Sally to make it a happy ending. I mean, so he understood how to make a film, and very few people were able to do that.
You know, Rob, I'm a big believer that when someone dies, it's not an opportunity to revisit their lowlights. I'm also not a big believer that you need to establish caveats when you extend sympathies. I disagreed with this person, but this is very sad. So I don't do any of those two things when I ask you this question. Rob Reiner's career later in life very much focused on his politics, his disagreement with the president, and in short, something that you would disagree with. And I think that's why I bring it up in this moment. You know, even though you never met, here you are today talking about Rob Reiner, not just the person, Rob Reiner, the director, Rob Reiner, the talent, the actor. What do you think about that when you think about that you had such profound differences, especially as highlighted later in his life?
Well, we have a friend right here in Arizona who was murdered for his political beliefs, for having conversations. I think we must allow all political conversations, even ones that we vehemently disagree with. We must get back to conversations, and that's one thing that Charlie Kirk stood for. And Rob Reiner so eloquently said when Charlie was murdered that you know, that no one should be killed for their political beliefs. No one. We must move back to conversation. And the thing about America is such a unique experiment in freedom. We are allowed to have these conversations. We are allowed to disagree with the president and even say outrageous things that he said. You know, I don't want to repeat them, but I think like the president yesterday, I think he must rise above it, and he seems incapable of rising above the situation and being the president of all of us and just saying what it was. Maybe he wasn't a fan of mine, but I was a fan of his. He made great films. He was a great artist, and leave it at that. And I think we must move away from this the rhetoric of anger and hostility and not take everything personally. I mean, Rob Reiner and I, maybe we would disagree vehemently politically, but we can agree comedically. We can agree on what made those movies so funny that he made and what made them so memorable. I mean, the thing that saddened me yesterday also was realizing, why hasn't he made movies in the last 20 years? Hollywood just discards people of the highest talents like Rob Reiner. And they just go like, well, I mean, how come we haven't seen a movie in 5, 10 years from him? And that just goes to show how ruthless the business is. But the thing is, and it also makes you realize what a miracle it is that he was able to make such wonderful films that'll have lasting presence. I mean, the fact that Princess Bride will be able to continue to entertain children and families for generations is a testament to his talent, and I really admire him. And we ask that everybody would be able to put aside our political affiliations and opinions and enjoy somebody for their true talents.
Agree to disagree, and also agree that we can condemn a horrible, horrible tragedy. We've done it and asked for it in the past. We can do it ourselves here today. And I appreciate you sharing those sentiments, Rob Schneider.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.